Picture yourself as the captain of a majestic ship, its sails billowing in the wind, cutting through the sparkling seas of life. Your vessel is sturdy, built from years of experience, and your compass, your inner wisdom, always points true. But every now and then, a storm brews on the horizon. Disrespect. It's not a tsunami at first, just a pesky squall, a snarky comment, a dismissive glance, or a disregard for your time. For our wise elders, who've navigated countless tempests, and for anyone eager to sail with confidence, this is your ultimate guide to handling disrespect, especially from women in relationships, with flair, strength, and a hearty dose of humor. These 6 strategies aren't about throwing punches or sulking in the cabin. They're about steering your ship with swagger, keeping your dignity intact, and making every adventure legendary. Buckle up for a long, entertaining, and empowering journey packed with stories, metaphors, and motivation to keep you chuckling and inspired. 1. Spot the squall before it swamps you. Recognize disrespect early. Imagine you're at the annual town picnic, proudly serving your world-famous cornbread, when a gal sidles up and says, "Oh, that's quaint," with a smirk that could curdle milk. It's a tiny jab, barely noticeable, like a single raindrop on a sunny day. You laugh, brush it off, and keep dishing out cornbread. But hold on, that's not just a raindrop, it's the first sign of a storm. Disrespect often sneaks in like this: a sarcastic quip disguised as a joke, an eye roll when you share a story, or someone forgetting your lunch plans for the 3rd time. These are the early warning signs, the creaking of the mast before the gale hits. For our seasoned sailors, elders who've seen more storms than a lighthouse keeper, think of spotting disrespect like tending a vegetable garden. You don't wait for weeds to choke your tomatoes, you yank them out when they're small. Disrespect works the same way. It's not about being paranoid or picking fights over every glance. It's about trusting your gut, honed by decades of life, to notice when someone's not treating you right. A confident captain doesn't leap into the fray at every slight, but he doesn't ignore the signs either. He squints at the horizon, noting the clouds, and adjusts his course. Why does this matter? Because disrespect doesn't just vanish, it grows. That quaint comment about your cornbread? If you let it slide, next she's scoffing at your dancing or ignoring your calls. Before you know it, you're in a full-blown hurricane, wondering how you got there. The trick is to see these signs for what they are, not just quirks, but clues about how she views you. If she's tossing jabs when she thinks you're not looking, that's her true colors peeking through. Don't let charm, beauty, or a shared history blind you. A captain who ignores storm warnings risks his ship. How to do it? Stay observant, not emotional. If she interrupts you mid-story, don't snap or sulk, note it. If she dismisses your plans with a wave, don't excuse it as she's busy, mark it. You're not keeping score, you're reading the weather. For elders, this is second nature. You've learned to trust your instincts, whether it's spotting a shady salesman or a friend who's all take and no give. Use that same wisdom here. By catching disrespect early, you protect your peace before the storm hits. You're not being too sensitive by noticing disrespect, you're being a guardian of your worth. Every time you spot a squall early, you're saying, "My ship is too grand for rough waters." You've earned the right to sail in calm seas, so trust your compass and keep your eyes sharp. You're not just saving your ship, you're teaching others how to treat a legend like you. Meet Uncle Gus, 77, the king of the community potluck. When a new neighbor snickers at his homemade lemonade, calling it old-fashioned, Gus doesn't flinch. He smiles, sips his drink, and watches. Next week, when she cuts him off mid-joke, Gus calmly says, "I'll finish my story, then you're up." No fuss, no muss. By the next potluck, she's asking for his lemonade recipe, and Gus is still the king, his ship steady as ever. Gus didn't fight the squall, he just steered clear, and everyone's singing his praises. 2. Don't hand over your wheel. Stop over-explaining yourself. Ever found yourself explaining why you love your creaky old rocking chair to someone who just doesn't get it? You go on about its history, how it was your grandpa's, how it fits your back just right. 10 minutes later, you're still talking, and they're barely listening. Now imagine doing that when someone disrespects you, trying to justify why you're upset, why you set a boundary, or why you deserve better. It's like handing the wheel of your ship to a pirate. You're not steering anymore, you're begging for their approval. Confident captains, especially our elders who've debated everything from politics to pie recipes, know this trap well. When a woman disrespects you, say, by mocking your hobby or brushing off your feelings, your instinct might be to explain, "I'm not mad, I just feel ignored because..." Stop right there. Every word you add is like tossing treasure overboard. You're not clarifying, you're pleading, and that shifts the power to her. She senses you're chasing her okay, and that dims your captain's aura. Here's the secret: respect doesn't need a defense. A confident man states his piece once, clear as a foghorn, and lets it stand. If she questions your choice to skip a chaotic event, don't launch into a saga about needing peace. Say, "I'm keeping my evenings calm," and move on. If she pushes, don't dive into a debate, smile, and change the topic. You're not dodging, you're steering. Elders know this from years of saying, "That's my way," and leaving it at that. It's not cold, it's powerful. Why it works: over-explaining signals you're seeking her validation, which makes you look less sure of yourself. By keeping it short, you show you trust your own course. She feels your strength, even if she doesn't say it. Plus, it saves your energy for better things, like perfecting that cornbread recipe. Women, especially, notice when a man doesn't need to justify every move. It's like a a lighthouse beam cutting through fog, steady, unshakable, and impossible to ignore. How to do it? Next time you feel the urge to explain, pause. Ask yourself, am I clarifying or trying to be light? If it's the latter, take a deep breath and let it go. Say what needs saying once and trust your value shines through. If she keeps pushing, that's her storm, not yours. Sail on. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You're a captain who's sailed through decades of life's waves. Your track record speaks for itself. Every time you skip a long speech, you're reclaiming your power. Stand tall, speak once, and let your swagger do the rest. You're not just a man. You're a legend steering a mighty ship. Grandpa Eddie, 81, loves his vintage radio shows. His new neighbor laughs. Why not stream podcasts like everyone else? Eddie doesn't lecture about nostalgia or sound quality. He just grins and says, "This suits me fine." When she later questions his early bedtimes, he replies, "I like my mornings fresh." No debate, no fuss. Soon, she's borrowing his radio to try it out, and Eddie's still tuning in, cool as ever. His wheels firmly in his hands, and the whole block knows it. 3. Fortify your hull. Set clear boundaries like a pro. Think of boundaries as the oak planks of your ship's hull, strong, unyielding, and essential for keeping out rough waters. Without them, every wave of disrespect leaks in, and soon you're bailing water instead of sailing. A boundary isn't a keep out sign. It's a standard that says, this is how I expect to be treated. Cross this line, and I'm adjusting my course. For elders who've set rules for everything from bridge games to family dinners, boundaries are as natural as breathing. Here's the deal. If a woman talks down to you, ignores your plans, or tries to guilt trip you, and you say nothing, you're not being nice, you're teaching her it's okay. It's like letting someone track mud on your deck. Over time, she'll lose respect, and you'll feel like a deckhand on your own ship. Confident captains don't yell or beg. They draw a line with calm certainty. Maybe it's, I don't stay in talks that get disrespectful, or my time's valuable, so let's stick to plans. The key? Mean it. If she crosses that line, you act. Maybe you leave the conversation or skip the next meetup. No drama, just follow through. Why it works? Boundaries show you value yourself, and that's magnetic. A mature woman will respect your line and adjust. An immature one will push harder, and that's your signal to rethink her place on your crew. You're not controlling. You're commanding your ship. Elders know this from years of saying, no cards till the dishes are done, and sticking to it. It's not about punishment, it's about integrity. How to do it? Start small. If she interrupts, say, I'll finish, then it's your turn. If she's late again, say, I'm here at 2. Let's make it work. Then enforce it. Don't wait an hour or argue. Be calm, not cold. You're not shutting her out. You're inviting her to respect you. If she resists, that's her choice. You've got a ship to sail. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're your ship's armor. Every line you draw says, I'm a captain worth respecting. You've lived too long to let anyone muddy your deck. Set your standards, hold them high, and watch how the seas calm around you. You're not just protecting your peace, you're inspiring others to fortify their hulls too. Miss Ethel, 73, runs the church bake sale like a Navy admiral. When a new volunteer snaps at her cookie arrangement, Ethel says, we speak kindly here, or we don't speak. When the snapping continues, Ethel assigns her to cleanup instead of sales. No shouting, no tears. By the next sale, the volunteers all smiles, and Ethel's cookies are the talk of the town. Her hull's tighter than a drum, and her ship's the pride of the fleet. 4. Steer through the tempest. Master your emotions like a sea god. Disrespect can hit like a rogue wave, making your blood boil and your tongue itch to fire back. A snarky jab or a dismissive shrug feels like a cannonball to the gut, and your instinct is to defend your ship, argue, snap, or fix it right now. But hold fast, Captain. Reacting too fast is like dropping anchor in a tempest. You're stuck in the chaos, and she's got the upper hand. Emotional control isn't about bottling up feelings. It's about steering them like a sea god, choosing when and how to respond. When a woman disrespects you, maybe with a sarcastic nice try or a cold shoulder, pause. Feel the heat in your chest, the clench in your jaw, but don't let it steer. Take a breath, like you're savoring the salt air. A confident captain doesn't flinch at every gust. He stays calm, not to ignore the issue, but to handle it with power. Maybe you say, I don't talk like that, and leave it there. Or maybe you say nothing and let your steady gaze speak. Your calm is your cannon, firing without a sound. Why it works? Staying calm disarms her storm. She expects a shouting match or a groveling plea, but your stillness throws her off. It's like tossing a bucket of water on a fire. She's got no fuel to keep burning. Plus, it saves your energy for smoother seas. Elders know this from years of keeping cool when the grandkids bicker or the neighbor's dog digs up the roses. Calm isn't weakness. It's a superpower that says, you can't shake my ship. How to do it? Notice the moment you're triggered, heart racing, voice rising. Pause. Count to 3. Ask, is this worth my wind? If you need to address it, do it once, direct and calm. That's not okay with me. If it continues, act, walk away, change the plan. Your actions are louder than any rant. Practice this in small moments, like when the cashier's rude, and it'll be second nature on the big seas. You're not a cork bobbing in her waves, you're Poseidon himself. Every time you master your emotions, you prove you're unsinkable. That's the kind of strength that turns heads, wins hearts, and makes you a legend. Sail steady, and let the world marvel at your calm. Old Ben, 79, is at the diner when a young server snaps. Her Hurry up, Pops, we're busy. Ben's blood simmers, but he doesn't bite. He smiles, orders his apple pie, and says, kindness makes the pie sweeter, dear. He tips well but skips the diner for a week. Next visit, the servers all apologies, and Ben's pie comes with extra ice cream. Ben's a sea god, and his ship's the talk of the harbor. 5. Hoard your wind. Pull back your attention like a master. Your attention is the wind in your sails, precious, powerful, and yours to give. When a woman disrespects you, your first urge might be to double down, call more, text more, try harder to win her over. That's like pouring all your wind into a leaky boat. Instead, pull back. Redirect that breeze to your own sails, your hobbies, your friends, that woodworking project you've been itching to start. Let her feel the calm where your gusts used to blow. This isn't a game or a sulk, it's self-respect in action. You're saying, my wind's too valuable for rough waters. If she's ignoring your boundaries or tossing jabs, don't chase her with more effort. That screams, I need your approval. Instead, ease off. Skip the daily texts. Pass on the coffee date. Focus on you. Women notice when a steady breeze stops, and it makes them rethink their course. Why it works. Pulling back shifts the power. She sees you're not desperate, and that's magnetic. It's like when you stop feeding a seagull, it squawks, then flies off. A mature woman will adjust, an immature one will push, and that's your cue to keep sailing. Elders know this from years of choosing peace over drama, like napping in the hammock instead of arguing with a stubborn cousin. Your wind's too good to waste. How to do it? Start small. If she's dismissive, don't text back right away, wait a day. If she cancels plans, don't reschedule instantly. Say, I'm booked for now. Then dive into something you love, gardening, chess, or binge watching detective shows. Let her feel your absence, not your chase. You're not cold. You're just sailing where the skies are clear. Your attention is gold, Captain. Hoard it for those who treasure it. Every time you pull back from disrespect, you're fueling your own adventure. You're not just a man, you're a force of nature, sailing toward brighter horizons. Keep your wind strong and watch how the world chases you. Uncle Leroy, 76, loves swapping stories with his neighbor, but she starts cutting him off. Leroy doesn't beg for her ear. He pulls back, spending evenings with his model ships. A week later, she's knocking, asking about his latest build. Leroy invites her in but keeps his wind tight. Now she listens, and Leroy's the harbor hero, his sails full and his stories epic. 6. Chart a new horizon. Walk away with epic dignity. Sometimes, the boldest move is to sail away entirely. If a woman consistently disrespects you, mocking your passions, ignoring your boundaries, or treating you like a deckhand, it's time to chart a new course. Walking away isn't defeat, it's the ultimate act of self-respect. It's not about slamming the cabin door or firing a parting shot. It's a quiet, dignified exit, like a captain leaving a stormy port for bluer skies. Walking away says, I choose me. It's not about punishing her, it's about protecting your ship, your peace, your pride, your identity. Staying in a disrespectful dynamic is like anchoring in a whirlpool. Every jab you ignore chips away at your hull until you're doubting your own compass. But when you sail away, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that no connection, no matter how charming, is worth your dignity. Why it works? Your absence is a thunderclap. It shows you're not afraid to sail alone, and that strength reshapes how others see you. A mature woman might reflect and change. An immature one will keep storming, and that's your freedom. Elders know this from leaving toxic jobs or one-sided friendships. It's hard, but it's liberation. By walking away, you open the seas to better ports, where respect is the currency. How to do it? Don't announce your exit with fanfare. If she's crossed too many lines, say, this isn't working for me, and mean it. Then go, no texts, no one last talk. Dive into your life, join a club, try a new hobby, or just enjoy your own company. Your silence speaks louder than any speech. You're not running, you're sailing toward a horizon that shines. Walking away is your victory voyage. You're not losing a battle, you're winning your freedom. Every step away from disrespect is a step toward the captain you were born to be. The seas are vast, and your next port is waiting, brimming with respect and joy. Sail on, legend. Pop Amos, 84, dated a gal who scoffed at his love for big band music. After one too many that's ancient jabs, Amos said, I'm dancing to my own tune now. He joined a swing dance club, met a new crew who adore Glenn Miller, and now he's twirling every weekend, his ship gleaming under starry skies. Amos didn't just walk away, he sailed to a new epic adventure, and the harbor's buzzing with his legend. Your epic journey awaits, dear captains, young at heart and wise with years. These 6 strategies, spotting squalls, keeping your wheel, fortifying your hull, mastering tempests, hoarding your wind, and charting new horizons, are your treasure map to a life of respect. You're not just handling disrespect, you're crafting a saga where you're the hero, your ship unsinkable, your compass true. Each step is a love letter to yourself. You've sailed through decades of storms, heartbreaks, triumphs, and everything in between. You know your worth, now live it. Let these lessons be your wind, pushing you toward seas where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Your strength doesn't just steer your ship, it lights the way for others, from grandkids to neighbors, to sail with the same swagger. So hoist your sails, squint at the horizon, and let respect be your North Star. The seas are wide, the skies are endless, and your adventure is far from over. Here's to calm waters, epic tales, and a ship that never bows to storms. Full speed ahead, Captain, you're a legend, and the world's waiting to salute you.